Good afternoon, everyone. So we're here for today's webinar, My Build Estimate webinar on how to maximize your profits. We're looking at how to maximize your profits in construction. I'm Parm Bhangal, the Managing Director of My Build Estimate, and I'm here this evening to talk to you about how you can maximize your profit within your construction business, whether that be your main contractor, subcontractor, a tradesperson, whatever that might be. It's about looking at how we maximize them profits at different levels of whatever business you might be in construction. It will also actually apply to other businesses as well. And, we'll look at lots of different strategies that you can use to make more money in business effectively. So where you're at right now, you might be struggling to achieve the profit margins that you would like to make. You're losing control of project costs mid-project. We see this happen a lot. The amount of people that don't monitor their project costs, and then they have the overruns and everything doesn't go the way they want, and then get to the end of the project and all of a sudden you haven't made any money and you don't really know where you're going with it. You may be feeling like you're unsure on how to price projects effectively and then take them projects to somewhere where they become live and actually put them in a position where how do you transition from an estimate or tender stage to actually going to a position where you're looking to make profit on that project and going through their motions. You might be facing inefficiencies in your project management process. And we see this happen, and we have seen this happen with lots of clients in the past. And you may not be using technology to its full potential. There's so much technology out there available. And if you're not using the technology in the marketplace to make yourself more efficient, to ultimately make yourself more profit, then we'll look at how you can do that. So you could be feeling lots of different things at the moment, which is not a nice position to be in. Imagine that you're now accurately pricing your projects for maximum profit. You're confidently monitoring and controlling costs with the various documents that we provide you with, and maybe when you look at other estimating companies, or when you look at doing your own pricing, how you use them documents at the different stages to ensure that you're maximizing your profits. Looking at managing your projects efficiently and effectively, that's really, really important. Imagine you can use advanced cost control techniques to stay within budget. And when we talk about advanced cost control techniques, they're advanced in the fact that they're more advanced than most people would ever use, but they're very easy to use. And then it's looking at leveraging technology to streamline operations and boost that profitability. So we're looking at where you was to where you'd like to be, and that comes with a whole host of emotions, and it comes with a whole host of things that happen. So we're going to try and transition you from where you might be right now to where you'd like to be, which is ultimately making more profit within your business. I'm sure you would agree that you need a new strategy. If you're even in a position right now where you're considering, I'm not sure whether we're making enough profit on a project. I'm not sure how much we're making on any of our projects. I'm not sure what the money looks like. And we have people at all them various stages. You might perfectly know how much money you make, but you're just looking to improve that and you're just looking to get it better. Well, I'm sure you'd all agree, you need a new strategy. You need a new way of looking at things. So how do we get there fast? It's about looking at the steps. It's looking at how we take the proactive steps, know at what level you're at to get to the next level. If you know what your numbers are, how do we make you more efficient? If you don't know what your numbers are, how do we get you to a position where you understand what your numbers are? Whatever you position you may be in, it's about looking to improve and get you to the next level effectively. Becoming a highly trained business owner who understands how to price your projects to maximize profitability. That's what it's all about, maximizing your profitability. And that all comes from the pricing. If the pricing is incorrect, ultimately the profitability is not going to be there. You want to master cost and project management efficiently. Cost management throughout the project leads to more efficiency, and project management leads to more efficiency. More efficiency obviously leads to more profitability. You want to be someone who adopts advanced tools and technology for cost control. There's lots of tools out there for enabling yourself to be in a position where you can monitor the costs well, and so that you know where you're at. You know what changes you need to make, and you know how you need to adapt things to make them better. So here's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be looking at pricing your project efficiently, monitoring costs using your documents, efficient project management, advanced cost control techniques, and using technology to increase profitability. Profitability is the lifeblood of every business, not just construction businesses, but every business. And looking at how to improve that is very, very important. And one of the key steps to that is looking and understanding that process. So why focus on profitability? Well, profitability is hugely important to the success in any business, like I've said. But if you don't focus on profitability, you never actually know what's going right or what's going wrong within the business. And the most important thing is that if you're not making a profit and you're not profitable, or certain projects are not making the sort of profit you need them to, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's a problem with the entire project. It could just mean there was a problem with a certain element of the project. You could have done wonderfully well throughout an entire project if you're a main contractor, but actually your electrical works or your decoration just wasn't quite working the way it needed to, and that dipped your profitability. Now that could then, you look back and you go, well, actually, how does that look? Was that a pricing issue or was that a subcontractor issue? Again, if you're a subcontractor and you're an electrical contractor and you didn't make a profit on a certain part of your project, what part of the project was that? Was it your cabling works? Was your final fixes? Was it your buying? Was your labor allocation? It's about being able to fine tune that and focus on where that profitability needs to come on. And that makes you more efficient as a business. And why do you need to do that now more than ever before? Well, the economy is changing, and the economy isn't as robust or as busy as it used to be before. We've seen certainly a downturn in the amount of people looking to get projects done. Lending has gone up. Lending's more difficult with all the increases from the new government in terms of taxation and all that kind of stuff. People are holding on to their money more. The conversion rate of taking a project from tender stage or estimate stage to actually build is going down, and we're seeing that. So the economy is changing, and for you to understand what's actually happening is very important. And you have to understand how you actually get into a position where I want to win a job. It's really important that I win this job, so I might decide to reduce my prices. If I decide to reduce my prices, that has an effect on profitability unless you change something somewhere along the lines in the process. And that's really important. So we have to understand is the economy is changing, and it's changing, and it's changed from where we were 12 months ago. And without a deep understanding of that and a good understanding of that, you're not able to adapt your business the way you need to going forward. That all being said, there's massive opportunity in the marketplace right now to be able to make your business better, make your business more profitable, make your business more efficient. And if you do that right now, when you need to fine tune, then it can only get better in the future. So it's really important that you start looking at this opportunity and you start taking this opportunity to do more and to fine tune them numbers and fine tune the things that are happening within your business. So it's about becoming a business owner who accurately prices your projects for success, monitors and controls them costs efficiently, uses technology to boost efficiency and profitability. Now, we do all of this within our business, and we help people on a day-to-day basis, clients, not clients, coaching clients, clients of My Build Estimate, clients of my coaching business. We help them every day to try and become more efficient, more profitable, and help them to reach the goals that they're looking to reach. Just a quick testimonial here from a client that I spent a couple of years coaching. He's a client in our estimating business, and he's a client within my coaching business as well, and is someone that we've helped hugely to take their business in terms of growth and profitability. I'm not going to read it out to you. You can see it there on the screen, but it's about taking people from one position and the position that they might currently be in to the position where they want to be in, and getting them from A to B, and what that looks like. Sometimes, and a lot of the time, it's small things. It's not huge, big movements that you need to make to get you to certain positions. It's small movements that take you from here, where you might be, to where you are, to where you'd like to go to. So it's about going through them transitions and then periods to get you to where you want to be. So who am I? My name is Parm Bhangal. I'm the managing director of My Build Estimate. I'm a construction and business expert and an entrepreneur. I am a father of two. I'm a speaker, and I go out and talk to people about how to make their construction businesses and the businesses more profitable, more efficient, how to grow them, how to put systems and processes in place. And I've been in construction for 15 years. Well, I've been in business for 15 years. I've been in construction for almost 20 years. And I'm taking my skills as a quantity surveyor, estimator, business owner to try and help other business owners and to try and help other businesses that work with us to achieve the same goals that we've been fortunate enough to achieve over the last decade and a half in business. Obviously, it's not always been like this. A decade and a half in business, I've learned a lot. I've gone out, I've educated myself. I've gone to seminars, I've listened to webinars just like this, and I've implemented. I've taken action to ensure that we are implementing the right things exactly how we need to make them improvements to the business. Have you ever been in a position where you thought you had it right, but in fact you had it so wrong? So many business owners that I meet on a day-to-day basis are running around, and this might be you, running around, getting things done, and they feel like they're just doing this, they're doing that, busy, but actually ain't looking at the things that they need to look at. Looking at that profitability, looking at that efficiency. So you might feel like you're running a buzzing, busy construction business, trade business, subcontractor, whatever it is you do. You may feel like it's doing amazingly well, and I'm sure it is. But that doesn't take you away from the fact that it could always be doing better. It could always be more efficient. It could always be more profitable. So you could be in a position where you thought you had it so right, but in fact you had it so wrong, because in a year's time, you're in a position where you have actually got it so right. And you look back and think, oh, I had it so wrong then. And I've had many of them milestones within my career, within my business, within my journey within business. So if you're running around like a headless chicken, you don't know your numbers, you're not quite sure how things are looking, you're not quite sure how your business looks, you want to improve, then you're in a position where you thought you had it right, but you actually want to get it better. That's all it is. And that's what we're here to help you do. I always say to my clients, there's nothing special about me, but there's something very special about the system that I've created, which is helping my clients, thousands of clients, achieve a huge amount of success. From pricing projects at the outline all the way through to monitoring projects, monitoring costs on projects, and monitoring project efficiency, which is hugely important to the success in your business. Now, a little bit about My Build Estimate. We're the UK's leading estimators with a multi-award winning team. We provide you with bespoke estimates tailored to your needs. They're not generic estimates. They're not generic in terms of labor. They're not generic in terms of materials. We're here to provide you bespoke estimates that are fit for purpose, fit for your business. And the reason we're talking about profitability and we're talking about efficiency, because that all starts with the estimating process. The estimating process is very, very important and is probably one of the most key bits to your business and the success in any construction business. We offer various turnaround times, all the way from 24-hour turnarounds, 48, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, 14 days, whatever it might be. We're here to help. And we're here to help you convert your estimates into business. We're here to help you convert that business into profitable business, and we help you become more efficient. So if you use our estimating service, you'll know about us and you'll know what we do. There's probably still bits that you don't know where we can help you become more efficient. Come to speak to us personally anytime you want. If you don't currently use our estimating service, give us a try, because I know it helps. And I know that we've helped lots and lots and lots of clients. We've probably got thousands of clients on our books live right now pricing projects. So that's a little bit about us at My Build Estimate. So now we're going to look at the biggest profitability mistakes. Obviously, underpricing projects. That is definitely going to be one of the key ones. If you underprice a project and you rush that pricing, it's going to cause you a problem during that construction period. The amount of contractors I see on a day-to-day basis doing an average cost per square meter, putting it into a client, hoping it goes well, not actually looking into the finer details of what's going on, is massive. When we look at the numbers of a project, we're always looking at them in whatever level of detail that is, from outlines to budgets to falls to valuations, whatever level that might be at. But underpricing a project is going to be one of your biggest mistakes that you make. Poor cost tracking during projects. Now, probably 2 in 10 contractors track their projects properly and actually look at the labor, the material allocated to each task, look at what's making profit, look at what's not making profit, and actually become in a position where they understand what them costs look like. Inefficient resource allocation, again, not understanding what is the labor portion of this specific task. If we look at, say, decorating, well, what labor have we allocated to this? And that's if you're allocating labor and materials separately. You might be allocating them together. Then you have to look at them together and look at what their margins are, look at what you've got in, look at how you actually get to a position where what you've got in and what you're subcontracting it out for is got the margin you want in it. So inefficient resource allocation is a massive problem. Ignoring advanced cost control techniques. So how you're actually monitoring your costs, how you stay on top of them, how you're valuing the jobs, how you're sending that information over to your clients is hugely, hugely important to make sure you're always on the right side of the money. And failing to adopt modern technology. There's so much tech out there. There's so much resource out there that you can use to help you become more profitable and more efficient. And failing to adopt that modern technology is not going to help you when it comes to efficiency and profitability. So all these are these are probably 5 of the top things that we see that are the biggest mistakes in profitability when we're looking at contractors. And this is effectively what we want to help you solve. And hopefully we can look at the different techniques we use to take them out and eliminate them and help you to ensure that you don't make them mistakes again. It's obviously essential to avoid these mistakes. It's easily done sometimes. Like I said, when you're busy and you've got a lot to do, you're in a position where you can make mistakes. You drop the ball. You're too busy to look at this stuff. You're drowning in paperwork. But avoiding these mistakes will help you become more efficient and more profitable, which is what we're all here for. So how to maximize profits on your projects? You've got to price your projects accurately. It's very, very important. Looking at them numbers at the front end is one of your most important tasks. If you want a successful construction business, getting your estimating right is not questionable. It's a must. It's compulsory. You have to ensure that you get them projects priced accurately, because if you don't, they're going to cause you problems at the back end. People tend not to take time at the estimating stage because they're not sure whether they're going to win the project. So they rush through that process to get a price in. Again, running around, you may be busy and you're like, I just need to get this price into the client by Friday. Let's get it out quick as we can. If you then win that project and there's some discrepancies in there, that could be the whole duration of that project. You're going to be feeling the pain of that decision that was made. That could be 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, whatever it might be. But not pricing your projects accurately is a big burden. So you must ensure you price them projects accurately. Whether you use us at My Build Estimate to price your projects accurately, or you do them yourself, you've got to ensure you dot the I's and cross the T's. The second thing is monitoring your costs with valuation documents. Now, a little bit later on during this presentation, I'm going to show you how to use our documents to turn them into a valuation document, or get us to turn them into a valuation document, to be able to look at all the steps really, really efficiently, and to look at how you maximize them profits in the different elements of the business. But whether we're doing it for you or someone else is doing it for you, or you're doing it yourself, you want to ensure you're monitoring them costs, and that's how you maximize the profit of your project. Managing your projects efficiently, it goes without saying. You have to ensure your site managers, your project managers, whether it's you or whether you've got someone else doing that, are managing them projects efficiently. Whether it comes to time, whether it comes to material, it has to be lean. The process has to be lean. There can't be stand time. There can't be downtime. One task has to transition to the next task. Project management is key to making sure that happens. Using advanced cost control techniques. Again, this comes back to valuations. How are you using your cost control techniques to make you more profitable? Well, when you're talking about cost control, it's about looking at your cash flow, looking at how you maximize that cash flow during the business and through your other projects. Ordering early, negotiating your tasks, negotiating them materials purchases. But you can only do that if you're early on down the line. It's that project management to be able to give you the cost control techniques, to be able to give you the profitability, to be able to give you the efficiency, to be able to grow. That's the sequence in which it effectively works. Leveraging technology for better outcomes. Like I mentioned, there's lots of technology out there, whether that's apps to be able to control the process better, whether that be project management software, whether that be accounting software that you have access to, whether that's just using an Excel spreadsheet to be able to monitor them costs. You have to leverage technology. It's about the reporting of your team, the reporting of yourself. You know, how are you in a position where you're currently reporting on projects? You know, how are your team reporting to you on projects? How do you get into a position where your team are reporting on projects to you to make it more efficient, so you know what's going on and you know how to make that site more efficient if it isn't running the way you want it to run? We see it a lot where the reporting's bad or the reporting's not so good, and it leads to efficiencies, it leads to drop in profit margins. Ultimately, it's where you drop the board. So that's 5 ways to maximize your profit, your profit on your projects, and we're going to be talking about them in more depth. But definitely, these are 5 points you want to take down and you want to remember, and you want to become efficient in every single one of them. because if you work 10% at each one of these, you'll be 50% better. And that's all you need to do. 50% better, 50% more profitable, 50% more efficient. We're just going to talk you through some of our services and some of our costing documents, how we present the costing documents, and how you then use these documents to become more profitable. So our entry-level product and our entry-level service is our outline cost. If you're very front end of the task, or you're very front end of a client comes to you and they haven't bought the site, or they're looking for an extension that's 10x4, or you're not sure if you're going to win the work, and you're really at the front end on the planning documents, we do an outline cost. The outline cost is effectively looking at the cost per square meter, but taking into account market fluctuation. It's not just a cost where we just grab it off Google, we put it on a piece of paper and we fry it off to you. We will do some investigation on the site. We'll look at the access. We'll look at what the site was previously. We'll look at all the things that make that site different. Is it prime central London? Is it Newcastle? Is it Ireland? Is it Wales? Where is it? What's the price per square meter in that specific area? What have we done previously in the area that's similar to this? What kind of price per square meter would we be using? What are the fluctuations? Does it look like it's next to a river? Are there a million trees? That means that it's going to have 2-meter foundations. Adding the fluctuations up to ensure that your cost is as close as possible, even though it's very broad. As mentioned, entry-level product, entry-level service that we use to save you time. You know, you might go and see a client and you go, oh, I just want a quick outline cost on this project. You send it over to us, we do it for you, put your logos on, we send it back to you. Easy for you, because it means that you can get a professional to look at it that does it all the time, that has a good amount of data, has a good understanding of the challenges in the industry, and it can apply more than just a cost per square meter price at a more detailed level. Next is our budget estimate. This is again when someone's in the planning stage and you just want to get some budgetary information. We provide some additional information. So you get a breakdown of the cost, split, demo, sub, superstructure, all the way through to finishes. You'll get the items measured and broken down. It's not as robust as our full estimate. It's there to provide more information than an outline cost, but not as much as a full. So again, previously on webinars, we talked about the sales process. You might be in the sales process and you might be early on in the sales process. And when I talk about the sales process, it might be a new client that's come to you, never met them, cold lead, trying to nurture it. You might not want to invest in a full estimate. You might have done an outline for them. They might have shown you that they're interested in going through the process with you. You then can be in a position where you fine tune them numbers a little bit more and you go through a budget estimate process. So kind of mid-level product that we kind of help you with. If you don't want to invest in a full estimate, you can go with the budget estimate and it will give you some robust enough numbers to get the job done. Before signing any contracts, I would always recommend going with a full estimate just to make sure them numbers are right and that project is feasible for you to take to construction. So that's kind of where we're at with the budget. Next, we look at the full. This is where we really get into that cost control element. So a full estimate, everything's broken down in detail. So if we look at a ground floor slab, it would be broken down. Excavate to reduce level, cart away, stone, sand blinding, tamping, insulation, DPM, concrete slab, screed. Every element will be measured and broken down. If you compare that to a budget, the budget would just be ground floor slab, 10 square meters, £150 a square meter, whatever it might be. I'm just throwing some numbers out there. That isn't the cost, but just throwing some examples out there. Whereas the full would give you the breakdown of each and every item. The beauty of that is you can then use that document to then help you cost manage later on down the line. Very detailed document. The biggest piece of feedback we get from this document is that it helps clients win work. When you present your client with a document that's got all the information in it, that's easy to read, they feel comfort in using you as a contractor. And the reason why they feel comfort in using you as a contractor, because you've gone to the time and effort to produce a document, to be in a position where they know you've done the work you need to do to win this project. It's clear and easy for them to read, and they feel confident that you're going to be able to get the job done. Presentation is key. If someone is getting you to do a 30, 40, 50, 70, 100, 150, 200,000 pound project, they want to know that you are the person that has the capabilities to do that project. And that comes as part of your presentation. Part of your presentation is the estimate. When they know you spent the time and effort estimating their project, they feel a level of comfort in using your services. So we get great feedback on our full estimate. Clients that use our full estimate and our budget estimates probably win more work than other contractors that actually don't use our service. And we've seen that. We've helped clients to improve their win rate by using our documents. We're going to look at this in more detail now, and this is where the profitability comes into it. So taking one page here. So in the middle, you see our summary is broken down into various levels. What you'll see on the left-hand side there is quantity, unit, rate, total. The quantity of the element. So for instance, if you look at the bottom, you've got 1 mist coat and 2 final coats of matte emulsion. You've got the quant, you've got the unit, you've got the rate, and you've got the total. That is for every single item within the document. So within the drawing pack we receive, we will price all them items. Now, when you look to the right of that, the rate is built up of them 3 rates within the rates section. So you've got the labor column, the material column, and the markup column. The labor column is the labor, the material column is the material required, and the markup is your markup. So if you look at that 1 mist coat and 2 final coats of matte emulsion, you know the quant, you know the unit. The rate is the build up of the labor and material and the markup. Then you come across 3 columns and you look at the totals. The £10,545 there for labour is the labour part of the total. So if you can see the total, the labour is £10,545 of the 13,412. The materials is £1,647 worth of the total, and the markup is the markup. Now, when you look at getting into cost control, just with that piece of information in them 3 columns, you know what your labour is. When you're then negotiating with subcontractors, you can go, well, I've got 10.5 grand here for my decorators. You know what you need to bring them in at to be able to make a profit. If you beat that number, you know you'll make more profit. If you don't beat that number and you get it for that number, you'll know you're making markup. With your materials, you can see exactly what allocation you've got in there for material. When you're buying, that's your budget when you're buying. Yeah. So you will get this document from us as standard when you do a full estimate. When you do a full estimate with us, should you choose to use our materials list service, what I always suggest is that you ask us to remove all the figures, you get us to leave the quantities in, we'll do your materials list. You then send that materials list out to 3 to 5 materials suppliers, and you look at negotiating the best rates. Once you do that, you know you've got a margin on your materials. You can cross-check and cross-reference every item. You've gone and got a price from Jewson's, Travis Perkins, wherever it might be, and they provide you a cost for the paint, for instance. And their paint, Jewson's coming at £1,700, Travis Perkins coming at £1,400, MKM coming at £1,000. You know you've got an X material allowance, and that's what you're buying. So you know what supplier to go to. You know what you need to negotiate. You know how to make that item more profitable. What I haven't shown you here, and what we do for a lot of clients, is turn this document into a valuation document. What we would do is we'd add another 2 columns, and we would put percentage complete and value. Every month or every 2 weeks, whatever your payment terms are, We would then do a valuation for you, and we would look at what you would send us a video of the site, and you'd say, here we are, this is where we got to. We'd then produce a valuation and tell you what you should be charging your client. If you tell us what money you spent on the project, we can also look at doing a profit and loss analysis at every fortnight or every month for you on this. If you don't want us to do that, you definitely need to be doing that yourself, because you stay on top of your project. If you know you've gone over on a certain element of your project, you know you've got to claw that back elsewhere. You need to monitor the project at every stage. So if you're doing fortnightly valuations or monthly valuations, it gives you a P&L. When you're tracking your numbers, you should know what your labor allocation is and what your material allocation is to that project at that specific point in time. So up to, say, the end of November, I know I've spent X on labor, X on material, and the value of work we've completed based on our percentage valuation is X, and this is what we spent. We're actually doing okay so far. Let's keep moving the project forward. Let's keep an eye on our labor. Let's keep an eye on our materials. If you're not doing that, you're waiting to get to the end of the project, and you're effectively waiting to be given an answer that you probably won't like. So that's why effective cost control at every step of the project is key. So it's about front end, get the estimate right, get a full detailed estimate like this. You know what all them numbers like. Get that materials list, send it out to the materials providers and suppliers. Look at where your profitability sits at that point. That's budget control. Send that same package out to your subcontractors or your trades. Look at how long each task is going to take. Labor allocation. That's before you've even stepped foot on site. You then step foot on site and you do, depending on your payment terms, fortnightly or monthly payments, whatever they might be even weekly, depending on what you're doing. Every 2 weeks, you do a valuation. What value works according to my estimate are complete to date, and what money have I spent? If it's in the black or it's in the red, you can make them adjustments. If you do not let them things happen and you don't take the time out to make them things happen, you are walking blindly to the end of the project, and you're never going to make any changes. Them things are critical and crucial to the success of your project and the success of your profitability and your efficiency. So they're just some of the things that we would do to help you. And if you're not using us to help you do them things, you definitely need to be doing them things yourself. Because if you're not, they're going to cause you problems. Creating the perfect strategy. So you got to define clear project goals and budgets. You've got to know what them budgets are. If you ain't pricing them projects accurately, like I've shown you in them 3 steps, you've got to make sure that when you're pricing stuff, you've got the correct budgets allocated to different segments so that you can then monitor them going forward. Use detailed valuations, monitor them expenses at the key milestones within a project. Continuously track and adjust for success. Tracking is one thing, adjusting is another. You've got to track them things. If you find during your tracking process that you've slipped somewhere, it doesn't mean that the project's dead and you ain't going to make any project. You need to then adjust to ensure that the rest of the project still is profitable. You may need to adjust, looking at the different elements of the project and go, right, okay, well, we made a little loss there. So we need to now look at how we claw that back in a different area. If we've made a loss, which isn't ideal, how do we look at clawing that back? The question is, why have we made the loss? Now, if you've got project managers, site managers on site, are you sure you're being fed back the information? And this was where we were talking about the communication and getting the reporting right. So you might have made a loss on a certain element of your project, and all of a sudden you're like, why have we actually made a loss there? Because we've never made a loss there before. So how are we in a position where we've made a loss? Has your project team not reiterated some changes that have happened. You might be on the substructure. You've accounted for 1.2 meter dig, 1 meter foundation. All of a sudden, there's a 1.4 meter dig and a 1.2 or 1.3 meter concrete foundation. No one's told you about it. They've just gone and got it done. Well, that's an additional cost. It's a valuation and a variation that you've missed. And that's why we're talking about tracking and adjusting. Because if you don't have them tracking and adjusting things in place, it will cause you problems. Adopt advanced cost control techniques. Some of these things that we're talking about are advanced cost control techniques. It's doing your costing right. It's making sure you get the materials list and you get the materials priced correctly. It's making sure you've done them valuations so that you can allocate the cost in the right way. And then leveraging technology. Some of the simplest forms to do this are Excels. You know, if you're not great with technology and you're not looking at bringing in a new piece of technology to help you become more efficient, just use Excel. It can do everything you need it to do. You've got to be recording everything. You've got to be tracking everything. We have P&L trackers, so profit and loss trackers, to be able to help you do that. If you send us an email, we can send you over an example so you can have a look at the profit and loss tracker. We're more than happy to do that because it's in your benefit to track your profit and loss. It really, really is. It helps you become more profitable and it helps you become more efficient. So how to ensure the strategy is right? You've got to stay informed about market changes. If you're again, we're talking about people at various stages of the construction process. We're talking about various sizes of organization. When you look at size of organization, if you're a main contractor and you recruit, you take on subcontractors and you've got some of your own team, you have to understand how things are changing for your subcontractors because that affects your price and then affects your project. If the price of timber goes up, you need to know that that's happening so you can take that into account. So you have to stay informed about what's changing in the market on a day-to-day basis so you can prep and plan for it. Use accurate data and pricing and budgeting. If you're using us as your estimators, we stay on top of the data, we stay on top of the pricing, we stay on top of the budgeting. Our data is always live data when it comes to materials. When it comes to labor, we rely on you to give us the most up-to-date information because you have that information. We also have a lot of market information. We have thousands of clients, like I said. That means we are privy to a huge amount of data. When things are changing, we know they're changing. We adjust for everybody. We ensure that we make them changes to ensure that you're efficient and you're profitable. Prioritize communication with the team. Like I said, if you don't communicate with your team effectively, you're going to drop the ball in places. You're going to miss the things that should be going up in price. You're going to miss the things that should be a variation on the project. That's all going to lead to less profitability. Regular review and adjust project plans. If you know you're slightly behind on the project, you can look at things. You can look at bringing yourself forward. You can look at getting the team on a Saturday or a Sunday to bring that project time forward. People often hear me say, oh, bring the project back on time. Think about it this way. If your project goes over by a month, you need a site toilet for a month, depending on the size of the project, of course. You need a site toilet for another month. You need a site office for another month. Small plant and tools for another month. Generators for another month. Electric for another month. Management for another month. And when you add up all them costs, they're making you less profitable. So if you can help it and go and actually do some maybe longer days, do some weekends to ensure you bring that project time down, it does actually save you costs when you look at it in the grand scheme. So regularly review and regularly adjust them project plans. See where you're at, see where they're pinpointed, make sure you're looking at it in the right way. Measure success through financial and timeline metrics. So you have to look at the timeline, first of all, like I've mentioned there. If it's slipping, bring it back. Always look at bringing it back. Always look at the finances. Always look at the valuations. Always look at your spend to date. It's the only way to become more efficient and become more profitable. From myself, I would say people are learning these new skills every single day and taking their businesses to their next level. I speak at multiple events in front of construction and property business owners in general. And I see people learning these skills, taking these skills, implementing into their business, and taking their businesses to a new level. And I'm here today to give you the advice to help you make them changes in your business so you can become more profitable and you can become more efficient. It's an easy and simple process to follow. I've shown you in a step-by-step process very quickly, very quickly. You know, people spend days with me to try and figure this stuff out in more detail, and we'll talk about that shortly. But we can help you step by step from the estimating process to the materials list to the valuation process, all the way through the project management process and monitoring. It's easy, it's simple. If you do it, you'll make more profit. And that's the key. That's the key to being more efficient, becoming more profitable. What is my mission? People always ask me why I do these webinars for free. Like I mentioned, we've got thousands of clients in our business. I want to help you to price your projects more efficiently. Obviously, I want you to use our business more. I want you to use our pricing because I know that we're one of the top estimating businesses in the UK. We're multi-award winning. So we know we can help you win more work. We know we can help you become more efficient. I want to ensure you do your cost control right. The more profitable you are on your projects and the more estimates you use us for, the more money we make. And the more we help you do that, the more money you make. We want to equip you with the tools to maximize profits. If I can show you how to do it and you make more profit, you're going to come back to us next time anyway. And we want to help you grow your business sustainably. You know, it's not about taking massive hurdles. It's about becoming more efficient and then growing. Time and time again, I see people looking for growth. I understand growth. Growth is very important, but efficiency is important. Sometimes more important, because sometimes with growth, you grow with the same pains. If you've got pains now and you're running around like a headless chicken, growing only duplicates them problems, only makes them problems bigger. Become efficient, become lean, become profitable, and then grow because you know you've got the right footprint to grow. How to become a business, how to become a winner in business. You've got to build strong relationships. You have to focus on quality and innovation. It's always about being innovative. Be adaptable and forward thinking. Again, hugely important. And that's how you become a winner. This is just me looking at 5 things to help you succeed. And these are 5 things we talk about all the time. You have to be motivated to achieve more. You need detailed and simplified training. You need step-by-step support. You need accountability, and you need to be consistent, and you've got to keep doing it. Motivation, training, support, accountability, consistency. It will make you a better business owner. It will make you more efficient. It will make you more money. Very simple. I've seen it happen hundreds and thousands of times. So how will we support you? We'll guide you through every step of the process. Always. We are contactable in every different method you could think of: WhatsApp, phone, Zoom, Teams, emails. We're on all the social media platforms. If you don't follow us on social media, go and follow us. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, we're on X, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok. We put a lot of information out there to help people. You'll get a lot of value out of our social media. Go and follow us. Our office is in Grange Park, Roman Way, Northampton. Book a meeting. Come and see us. We will talk you through the process. We will talk you how to make yourself more efficient. We're always here to help. 5 ways to become a construction business owner who maximizes profit. Have a winner's mindset. You have to know that you're going to win. Develop a well thought out strategy. set up efficient business systems, implement efficient processes, and I would say utilize coaching services. I help people with coaching, and we always looking to help people get better and grow. Mastering your pricing strategy in a day. If you're eager to price your projects more efficiently, if you want to become more profitable, if you want to look at how you use our documents better, we've put a one-day course together. Contact us to talk about our course. It's highly beneficial. I've had dozens of people on this course, and they've nothing but thanked me at the end of it, because they've been able to take that one-day investment and actually turn it into a lifetime of business benefits. So come and talk to us today about our one-day event that we run and how we can help you, no matter what you're looking for, whether it be pricing, valuations, contracts, method statements, programs, materials lists. We can help you with it. But we can also help you put the systems and processes in place to help you become a more efficient business owner, help you take your construction business to the next level, become lean, become efficient, become profitable. Obviously, I've seen one question pop through. Feel free to contact us. There's a QR code there that you can scan to contact one of our dedicated team who'll come back to you. I've seen a question come through about the P&L document. The P&L isn't in our estimating document. It's a separate document. If you do a valuation with us, we will put the P&L in there because it's part of the valuation process. If you've got any questions after this webinar, ask them. We're always happy to help. Like I said, there's lots of different ways to contact us. I know a lot of you would have got great value out of that webinar. Thank you for your time. We're always here to help. Got any questions, please contact us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a wonderful weekend when it arrives. A very Merry Christmas from us all here at My Builder Estimate. Thank you for your support if you are a client. If you're not a client, please come and use us, because I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Very Merry Christmas to you all. Have a lovely evening. Take care, and we will see you soon.